Tesla earlier confirmed that Berlin GigaFactory will begin construction in November 2019. This factory seems unable to be put into production for an extended period of time following the final approval of the project. Furthermore, according to the most recent reports from international media, a batch of Model Y has already been shipped out to the Berlin GigaFactory. Welcome to a new video on Tesla Vibes, and today, we'll see everything you need to know about Tesla's Model Y production at Giga Berlin. How far are they with the production of the Model Y, and when can we expect the first Tesla from Berlin? If you're watching us for the first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can enjoy our future videos while getting updated. On November 20th, two new Tesla Model Ys were sighted at the Tesla Giga Berlin in Grünheide near Berlin and shared by Tobias Lind. One was fully covered on a nearby test track, while the other was parked not so far away with no cover. It didn't have any license plates. 3 vehicles were spotted leaving the plant. The unanswered question was if those were pre-production vehicles from the Giga Berlin factory or test vehicles from other plants. We're guessing those were Giga Berlin pre-production cars. It has been reported in the media that Tesla fans on social media have revealed that a batch of Model Y vehicles have been shipped out of the Berlin GigaFactory. The fact that it is not currently possible to mass produce and deliver electric vehicles doesn't preclude Tesla from producing a small number of them at its Berlin GigaFactory for testing and other uses. A total of 6 Model Y sedans have been shipped out of the Berlin GigaFactory, according to images shared on social media. All of the Model Y sedans are high-performance versions of the standard Model S sedan. Following the report, some media outlets speculated that the 6 high-performance versions of Model Y that were shipped out of the Berlin GigaFactory may be shipped to nearby factories for collision testing and mileage rating research, among other things, before the Model Y is finally manufactured at the Berlin GigaFactory and presented to consumers. In the past, some reports stated that Tesla could continue construction of the Berlin GigaFactory if it received early approval and permission to install equipment, but that the entire vehicle produced in this factory would not be available until the final approval was received. The market understands that this also means that Tesla can produce small batches of the Model Y at the Berlin GigaFactory for the purpose of testing production lines and vehicle performance. Earlier this week, foreign media reported that Tesla and related agencies had submitted to the state of Brandenburg, where the factory is located, all of the approval documents required for operation and commissioning of the factory. The Environmental Protection Department of the state of Brandenburg had also confirmed that this was the case. All of the necessary documentation has been received. Whether and when the Tesla Gigafactory in Berlin can be approved for production and when it will be put into production will depend on whether and when the relevant departments of the state of Brandenburg give their approval following the submission of all required documents. In order to have seen the first Tesla Giga Berlin customer cars leaving the plant, it is safe to assume that the facility in Grünheide, close to Berlin, Germany, is well along in its preparations to begin series production of customer cars. User Tesla_Adri posted several images of a vehicle carrier loaded with Tesla Model Y on Twitter, including one of the carrier vehicle itself. The final destination is still a mystery. All we know is that they are all performance models and that they are all black in color. One of the vehicles in black appears to be a dual-motor, all-wheel drive model. That would imply that the long-range all-wheel drive performance versions will be the first to go into production, possibly before the rest of the lineup. It would be reasonable given the fact that the entry-level rear-wheel drive version would continue to be imported directly from China. The new version, which includes long-range, all-wheel drive, a new mega casting, as well as a structural battery, could potentially replace the current top-of-the-line model. At the very least, some components, such as rear bumpers, are missing. It could be a batch of vehicles intended for crash tests or other testing prior to going into production. Typically, we see a few test vehicles leave the plant about a month or two before the start of production. It's currently expected that Tesla will receive approval for the plant and begin production in early 2022, possibly as early as January or February of that year. Customer deliveries will begin as soon as possible after that. Those new Made in Germany products, Tesla Model Y, are expected to be the most recent models, featuring new components such as an AMD Ryzen processor for faster infotainment, a 12-volt lithium-ion auxiliary battery, and other enhancements. Meanwhile, the Tesla Giga Shanghai plant is carrying a significant portion of the burden of supplying Model 3 and Model Y vehicles to customers in China and Europe. According to a new unofficial report, the Tesla Model Y could begin production in Austin, Texas as early as next month. As reported by Joe Tegemeyer, who has been closely monitoring the plant construction with outstanding drone videos and analysis, the plant is expected to begin producing products next week, or in the first days of 2022. The first batch of samples had already been sent out for testing. Completed cars are already being driven around the factory floor, and several completed cars are currently being tested at various locations outside of the state, including crash and other testing. Even if this is true, it would be significant news not only for this particular plant, but also for the automotive industry as a whole, especially given the fact that Tesla Giga Berlin has not yet begun series production, despite the fact that the project was announced several months earlier. We anticipate that, following the completion of the European Gigafactory in early 2022, Tesla will be able to ramp up and expand its operations quickly across 3 continents. How quickly Tesla will expand, as well as how this will affect the availability and pricing of Tesla automobiles, will only become clear with time. One thing is certain, it will be an interesting and electrifying year in which to live. The production of the Tesla Cybertruck in Texas is expected to begin in 2022, but this is still up in the air. At this point, several all-electric pickup trucks, including Rivian, Ford, and General Motors models, should be available on the market. According to the company, when it begins mass production at its Grünheim, Germany factory for the Tesla Model Y, it will introduce a variety of new colors, which were first hinted at during the company's annual meeting in October. Sawyer Merritt recently shared a few new photos of the Model Y in new crimson red color, which were obtained from an undisclosed source and shown to the public. According to the report, it will be an 8-layer paint to give it a rich, deep appearance. Deep crimson multicoat, blue abyss multicoat, and mercury silver metallic are among the colors that have been added to the collection. Moreover, it is highly likely that such colors will be introduced at the new Texas manufacturing facility. However, according to a separate report, Tesla Giga Berlin will initially only produce the Tesla Model Y performance version in black and white, with the possibility of expanding to other colors in the future. During the ramp-up phase, we anticipate that it will not take more than a few weeks, perhaps a quarter, to introduce additional colors. In the meantime, the company is awaiting final permit approval, which is currently expected to occur in the first quarter of 2022. According to Sawyer Merritt's sources, Tesla has already produced approximately 240 test vehicles, indicating that the plant is technically close to being completed. Initially, the Tesla Model Y, which is manufactured in Germany, will be equipped with a battery pack that is similar to that used in the United States and China. Those packs are made up of cylindrical battery cells of the type 2170. Both the rear and front castings are to be used from the beginning of the project. The next step will be a structural battery that will still use 2170 type cells, and the final step will be the production of cars that will use 4680 type cylindrical cells in addition to a structural battery once the new 4680 type cylindrical cells are ready. One of the most important questions is whether or not the new 4680 type cylindrical cells will be used, and if so, how will they affect the range and performance? And with that being said, it's time to end our video. What are your expectations with the Tesla Model Y? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and stay tuned for more amazing videos like this. Until next time, take care, my friends.